There you go, folks. It's the DJ back at it again today. Hope you've been enjoying our collapsing economy videos. I released one yesterday. We're going to talk a little bit about that later, but let's get into the migrants. There's oh, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. You got to see this to believe it. That's pretty much what's going on in Denver, right? We just talked about Denver a couple of days ago, how they're sending an attaché to Texas so they can get the word out that there's a lot of restrictions going on in Denver, so it doesn't become a popular place to go. And we got a couple of viewers from Denver that like watching this, and I hope that they weigh in on this. Comment down below, folks. But anyway, yeah, so did I say today was Thursday, May 9th? You're almost to the weekend. You're almost to the weekend. It's dreary and rainy here in the Midwest today, but we had a beautiful day yesterday. Anyway, let's get back to Denver. Denver has the most migrants per population. They got more than New York City. I heard a fact today. New York City has seen 140,000 migrants delivered to their doorstep. There's about 80,000 of them still there causing chaos, and they're trying to get rid of them any way they can. And they may be going to Denver after you watch what's going on here. The migrants in Denver are making a list of demands, kind of like the college protesters, right? They're making a list of demands that they want from the mayor of Denver. And I think he's actually agreed to some of this stuff. So let's watch this video and you see how outrageous. I mean, this is like the inmates running the prison, pretty much. Let's listen to this piece out of Denver where they go over some of the demands.
To declare another migrant camp, this one off 39th Avenue in Central Park.
Well, it comes as another migrant camp gave the city a list of their demands in exchange for moving off the streets and into a shelter. Let's get to Greg Perez live in Denver this morning with the story here.
Good morning, Kirk and Ashley. Yes, this encampment behind me, the migrant encampment that you see behind me in Central Park, they have made a list of demands, about 13 of them. That was made just a couple of days ago. Of course, they've been living here for the past couple of weeks.
I hope you guys are coming up with your demands for whoever it is you want to make demands of. They got 13, just 13.
Or so, and on top of that, the group says that if their demands are met, they will voluntarily stay in city-funded shelters and leave their encampment where families, including young children, still live in tents. So it's kind of been a tug of war between the two sides. The migrants have been lobbied by Denver Human Services to get off the street and into shelters, an offer that remains according to city officials. Meanwhile, the migrants say the city withdrew the deal, while the city maintains it will continue to offer services to migrants that choose shelter over encampments. The list of demands from the migrants includes better food, as they have had grievances about the food provided by the city. They additionally want similar benefits to those in shelters, such as being put on a path towards a work permit.
They're not receiving any kind of official housing or immigration document support, which is incredibly necessary for them to be able to navigate the bureaucracy around these systems.
We try to compromise, we try to figure something out. You know, at the end of the day, what we do not want is families on the streets of Denver.
Other demands include shower access that will be available without time limits and can be accessed whenever needed. Medical professional visits that will happen regularly, and referrals for specialty care will be made as needed too. And all will receive the same housing support that has been offered to others. They cannot kick people out in 30 days without something stable established. So all in all, the migrants presented around 13 demands. Now, we have heard from the city, as you heard in the sound on tape just there, they really just do not want people in tents or kids in camps. So that's their goal. We're waiting to see on what the migrants say. On top of all of that, again, we still have the city that's going to be sweeping this encampment behind me starting today. Reporting live at 39th Street in Central Park, Greg Perez, Fox 31 News.
All right, Greg, thank you.
So there you go. Some of the demands were they wanted to cook their own food and they wanted culturally appropriate food. So they wanted more free stuff, basically. They wanted free lawyers. They wanted a little bit of everything. They wanted their kids to go to school and have be bused to school. I mean, see if you can find the list. It's kind of an outrageous list. And you'll wonder why people, we'll see what the mayor of Denver does, but this is just ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. And it's come to this. You let the college protesters make their demands. Everyone and their uncle is going to be making demands. So there you go, folks. A little bit out of Denver. Now I wanted to transition the discussion. I don't know about you guys, but I've been out doing some filming, doing some traveling the last pretty much most of this week, doing some appointments here and there. America's unraveling, and I'm going to tell you about. I mean, it's not. I'm not seeing this from manipulated government data. I'm seeing this in real time, real life. Let me explain a couple of the things that I'm seeing happen, and it just happened recently, or at least it's sped up. So that unraveling is starting to pick up steam in my circle. We stopped at a restaurant at the border in Genoa City a couple of days ago, and our waitress told us that she used to be a manager at a local place in McHenry, Illinois. Local pizza parlor that closed down the beginning of the year. Some of you folks may know what I'm talking about. But anyway, she was a manager / potential owner, I think. And now she's waiting tables to get by. There's one example. I have another acquaintance on LinkedIn. I've been seeing lots of tech workers hitting the streets. I just saw an article that said that there's a recession happening right now among tech workers. Companies are tightening their belts, trying to cut costs. They realize that the demand for stuff is going down, so these companies are starting to jettison some of their expenses so they can make their earnings in the coming months and quarters. So a lot of white-collar people are hitting the breadline, folks. A lot of white-collar people are hitting the breadline. I hope these people have emergency funds. I hope they've stocked up their pantry. I hope that they've prepared, right? Because finding that good job once you get laid off takes a little bit of time. And in an economy like this where it's going down quickly, you may not find that job for 6 to 9 months. One of the people that I received is looking for a job as someone who lost their job in the 2009 great financial collapse. What's that now, like 13 years ago, 14 years ago? This gentleman lives in Tennessee and was working. He relocated from Illinois to Tennessee at that time, and he works in automotive parts manufacturing. So he just lost his job after 10, 12 years, and is looking for another one, and that's in the auto industry. Look for yourself when you go by your car dealers. Car dealers are not selling cars. They're not. The dealers I've gone by in the last couple of days are stacked to the gills. I'm hearing that even used car dealers are having a hell of a problem. There's a guy on YouTube called Car Questions Answered. He's out of North Carolina, and this is his busiest time of year. and it fell on its face. He says people didn't get the tax refunds that they were expecting this year. The money's just not there. People are keeping their car, and he sells like $2,000 to $5,000 cars. So he's selling these, beaten up cars that people, that just need reliable transportation. They want to upgrade a little bit to get by for another year or two. But he says this year is not the case. It's not happening. Up in Milwaukee, Susie Q she's been seeing some panhandling in the casinos in Milwaukee. Late night panhandling, people coming around, seeing if you're going to offer them a little bit of a hand. Kind of sad. Seen it, in the past, but it kind of was a thing of the past, but now it's coming back. Sad story. I see people buying cars that they can't really afford to keep up, right? They're getting themselves into a situation that it's only gonna make their situation worse. They think that they've corrected their situation by buying a used car, but in reality, it's gonna make them broke in the near to long-term future. People taking on debt that they can't afford, or a car that they can't afford to repair, is not the best thing to do in a time when you need to be jettisoning debt. You need to be getting out of debt, folks. That's what I'm here to tell you. If you want to survive this collapse, you need to get out of debt. Okay? Looks like we got about 8 or 9 people listening in now. Good morning, folks. Glad that you could listen in today. How are you doing in this economy? Joe Biden went on, or Joe Bergen, we'll call him Joe Bergen. You know who I'm talking about. Joe Bergen been telling everybody how good this economy is yesterday. Do you believe that? Oh. Let me put some comments out there. I hope you guys are having a good day. It's miserable and wet here in Chicago. I'm not sure we're going to make it to 70. It was in the upper 70s yesterday. Beautiful day to get out in the Land Cruiser, and we had a great time. When we go to restaurants and stuff, we're not seeing as many people. People have come up with other ways to dining out. They're staying at home. They're having picnics. They're ordering out and picking up and taking home. They're not staying at the restaurant. So what we're seeing is a huge downfall in the people in some of these restaurants. Last night we went to a place and I noticed a sandwich I normally get. We haven't been there in probably like 6 months. And I ordered a sandwich that I normally get there, and literally the bun is smaller. The portion of the meat on the thing, because the bun's smaller now, the meat is smaller, but the price is the same. So we're starting to see some shrinkflation in some of these restaurants. Again, we've already gone through at least one stage of that. I mean, this same restaurant used to offer like 8 or 9 side dishes. Well, they got rid of waffle fries. They used to have waffle fries. You could pay extra and get waffle fries. No more. They're not offering waffle fries at all. You get normal fries or sweet potato fries or a pea salad, tater tots, and stuff like that. But they're modifying their menu so they can make a profit. The same place also got. I loved this place last year because they had hams on tap. I love me some hams, and going to a place where hams beer's on tap, that is just perfect. Well, anyway, no longer do they have hams. They replaced it by something a little more expensive. Go figure. So we're continuing to see things unravel here, folks. And if you watched, I mean, yesterday's video, or was it yesterday or the day before, where we talked about the assault in the park in a town close to me. Stuff like that's happening left and right, and I'm expecting to see more of it happen. So it's getting crazy out there, folks. Be sure to have your head on a swivel. Be sure to take care of yourself. Be sure to protect yourself. Be sure to be aware of your surroundings. And man, those surroundings can change pretty quickly. There's a lot of evil people out there, folks. And you don't need to make yourself a victim. You need to present yourself, and first of all, stay out of situations where you could be considered a ripe victim. But if you are in one of those situations, make sure that you stand out as not the not the best victim. Okay? Pay attention to what you're doing. Don't be doing this with your phone and looking at it and doing this and that, and don't do that. Don't do that. You're just making yourself stand out as a victim, and you may very well become one. So there's some examples of what I see happening. I just heard too that RV sales. RV sales this past quarter were down 8 to 9% year over year. Last year was miserable for RV sales. What do you think they were this year if they're down 9% from miserable? It's getting bad, folks. It's getting bad. You need to get that rainy day fund stocked up if you don't already have it. You need to make sure you're keeping that job. Don't make it easy and resign from your job if you don't already have another one. And maybe now's not the time to be jumping from one job to the next, because when you jump from one job to the next and that new company experiences some problems, usually because you're the last one through the door, you're the first one out. So be careful of job hopping at this time in this economy. Stay where you've got a known thing and a known paycheck coming in, because it just may go away, folks. I'm telling you. There's a good video out there of a guy who used to work for Tesla in Austin, a young gentleman who was a factory supervisor, and he goes through his story of how he got laid off at Tesla, and luckily he was able to find another job, but I don't think it was as good a job as that he left at Tesla. So companies are cutting back all the way around, folks. There's restaurants that are closing left and right. As we go out and drive around, we're seeing a lot of empty commercial space and more starting to appear. Restaurants that were there last year are no longer there. We're seeing also kind of a COVID trend where restaurants are not open. We just went by a little sandwich shop on the way back from Milwaukee, and one of our favorite barbecue places is now closed Monday and Tuesday. Okay, so there's 7 days in the week, and 2 days of the week this guy's closed. Not a good situation, but I guess he's got to do that to get by. But at some point, if you're closed 2 days out of the week, you might as well just close up for good if those people decide to go somewhere else and never come back. You're just killing your business. So we're starting to see a lot of people taking defensive measures, business-wise, more and more, as if the economy is crumbling. And I'm here to tell you, it probably is. The economy, for those folks who don't realize it, our economy has been on life support since 2008, since the last financial crisis, and it's just been on life support since then. And the can has been kicked down the road so many times, but yet they've kept the economy breathing. But now we're getting to the point where all the games and all the tricks are running out, and they don't have much left in the tank. So we're here to tell you to be prepared, get ready, and be looking for the signs. All right, that's all I have for you for today. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Check out our channel. We got some economy videos out there where I take you guys out to some of the places that are definite signs that our economy is not doing well. So check those out. There was like 3 or 4 of them out there. We did the Fox River Grove. We did the Walgreens. I just did one of old Dominic's grocery store, and I got a couple more I'm gonna do for you guys. So check it out. Check it out. The commercial real estate bubble is collapsing around us, and it's gonna explode other things along with it. So DJ Wonder Chrissy, this is Migrant Mayhem, Land Cruiser Midwest, over and out, folks. See ya.